This is from Bill. What position do the Colts pick in round 1 this year? Defensive back, D-line, or wide receiver?
Great question, Bill. Shameless plug, 1070thefan.com. Our latest mock draft look just went up today. I think 6 mock drafts, I want to say in there, 7 mock drafts maybe.
Yeah.
Not one had edge rusher.
Few D-line prospects, but not edge.
More interior.
Right.
So I find that interesting. That's now a couple in a row. We haven't seen that edge rusher. Are there not the right guys projected to be there in the 20s? If you're going to make me pick, Bill, I'll still go D-line. But we saw a lot of corner as well in this mock draft look.
Yep. This is from Jersey Johnny. He says, they finally have put together a good O-line. Will they all be re-signed?
Give it to me again, sorry.
Jersey Johnny asks, they have finally, the Colts, put together a good offensive line. Will they all be re-signed?
Jersey, they pretty much all are re-signed. Everyone is under contract through 2019, and all the starters, I should say, and everyone is under contract through 2020 besides Anthony Costanzo and Ryan Kelly. So it's a 5th-year option for Ryan Kelly. Boom, he's back for 2020. Costanzo was the only one. So, yes, they are all re-signed for next year. And even when you go into the depth, Joe Haig, Raven Clark, Evan Boehm, Josh Andrews, they are all re-signed. I don't think, now that Slauson is gone, Joey, don't believe, Slauson retired, Glowinski re-signed. You don't have a single unrestricted offensive line free agent.
Nice.
So that's a great problem, or a great not problem to have. And we talk about continuity so much on that line. Boom, there you go.
Cody Felger wants to know, where do you stand on the whole talent versus character debate, specifically what the Colts could do in free agency?
Cody, it's something that we answered a little bit earlier in the pod. I side more so on, and sooner or later, you got to have talent. Like, I get the Colts and the Pacers being so invested into culture and all that. And trust me, to a degree, I think it works. You cannot sit here and tell me the Pacers have one of the top 5 most talented rosters in the NBA, let alone Victor Oladipo's missed nearly 40% of your season. And yet, as we're taping this, one game before the All-Star break, they will go into the All-Star break with the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
So there is a level of culture that I think can serve you really, really well. Having said that, there is a breaking point, and that is what I think is so tough to decipher, to find out as a GM and as a coach. And part of me says this, Joey. It's your job as a general manager, and it's your job as a general manager to go find the talented players that don't have as many red flags that you feel like can come into your building, and that your coaching staff can corral, can contain, can whatever. Like, those guys have jobs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I kind of am at with the whole talent thing. It's probably a hair early for me to go ahead and make a move like a Brown, like a Bell. But as you just alluded to, Joey, and you said earlier in the podcast, Antonio Brown type players being on the market, that doesn't happen every offseason. Like, choir boys with Canton type ability do not hit the open market. They don't. That's just not. Why would teams not want that player in their building?
Right.
So, yeah.
It's almost like the pass rush issue with, they don't hit the open market, so when they do, you better pounce.
Yes. That's like, oh my gosh, it's whack-a-mole, and that mole is up for like one time, and you better hit it, or else you aren't going to see it until you leave Great Times.
Yep.
Or,
Chuck E. Cheese, whatever.
Yeah, wherever.
All right, from @YoungSkrilla11. Do we have, sounds like somebody would be performing at the Snake Pit coming up.
Gosh, opening up for,
I think, Skrillex.
Yeah,
Young Skrilla for Skrillex.
It was, I was going to say that.
Do we have our eye on any specific free agents this offseason, or is it too early to say?
Probably a hair early, Young Skrilla 11. Joey, I think where a lot of that conversation starts happening, one of our 39 steakhouses in downtown Indianapolis here in the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Combine is here. 2 weeks from today, actually, we'll be down there at Lucas Oil State, or at the Convention Center.
Heck yeah.
With Combine coverage. Agents are in town. Every personnel person you can imagine is in town for the combine, that's when you start to hear some of that chatter. So, yeah, I think there's probably been conversation with some of your own, but technically, it is tampering to start talking about other free agents. There's that 48-hour period right before free agency starts where tampering is legal, and our YouTube listeners or watchers are seeing me put that in quotes.
Yes.
Tampering happens inside of St. Elmo's, Prime 47, and Tony's or whatever the new one is right down the road, and maybe Steak and Shake at 2 a.m. as well.
I can't wait to check that out. We need to get in there.
We should.
Make some reservations.
Snoop a little bit.
Put on some fake mustaches, see if we can get the inside scoop. All right, this is from Eric Shibley. Would you trade the 26th pick and the 34th pick to move into the top 10?
Oh, man. It's hard for me to say until that board starts falling, Joey. Probably not, though. I don't look at the Colts as one player away. I look at them as 3 to 4. And I want to see Chris Ballard. I believe in Chris Ballard as a drafter. Now, having said that, drafting 26 is different than drafting 6th. So, but he had a lot of success last year drafting in the 30s and, even deeper into that. So, if this team was, I'm trying to think of a team that you feel like is right there. New Orleans needs what? New Orleans needs one more elite defender, something like that.
Maybe one more receiver too, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can nitpick with, let's say, for example, Kansas City let D Ford walk in free agency, but yet they were going to trade up and draft Josh Allen from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that like makes sense to me. You feel like you're one player away. I look at the Colts and still think that you're 3 to 4. So if I've got that draft capital, yes, you have the ability to move up, but I'd probably want to sit there and be like, let me get 2 or 3 guys and continue to build with that young drafted foundation.